Hello everyone. This is Talkative Carl back again with another. Sorry, just adjusting myself. The desk, not myself. Uh, we're back with another spoiler review of the episode 5 of the Loki series, and I gotta say, man, this is a dope ass show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, like everything so far. We leave off from the last episode from the I think it's odd because like there was a end credits thing in episode 4, but there was none in 5, which is weird because you figure like halfway through these series things you'll start getting the end credit stuff, but they didn't do it for this one. Maybe we'll see something in the last one. But anyway, we left off at episode 4 where when Loki got pruned, he did not just completely disappear. He was transported to this big void. This is like a post-apocalyptic world. You see like a destroyed Avengers Tower. This is pretty much like New York, but just devastated. Probably the whole entire world is devastated. And he meets up with these different Lokis from alternate worlds. There's the classic Loki from like the 60s comic books with the green and yellow outfit. Then you got Kid Loki from like a parallel world where like he actually was successful in killing his Thor, which caused him to be a nexus event for him to be taken by the TVA. And we'll get to the classic Loki why he was pruned, but then you got like boastful Loki, this like black Loki who's managed to be worthy of Mjolnir. And then you got Alligator Loki, which I'm assuming is from the parallel world where, Spider Pig is from, more than likely. Because it's the only universe I know with animalistic versions of our Marvel characters. So more than likely that's from that universe. But then they pretty much give MCU Loki the line "Come with me if you want to live" spiel. As they take him to the hideout, they let him know about this, big fog monster who's pretty much like the guard dog of whoever's been running the TVA this whole time. And we see it like, swallow up and just practically disintegrates anything it swallows whole. And they go to their little hideaway, which the Kid Loki is pretty much the leader of, because I guess he was the leader because he was the only one that managed to kill, only version of Loki that managed to kill his Thor. I really like that. I think he's my favorite one. But then you get them sitting down and talking in the bunker, and like the classic Loki, it's played by this actor. Like everybody else seems to be familiar with him, but I am not. I might have seen him and stuff, but I probably just don't recall like that. Grant something, I think. But anyway, he's like the old Loki. He tells a story where it's like it's almost similar to what MCU Loki went through as far as like Thanos, because you get to see certain Easter eggs like Thanos copter from the old comics, where Thanos like actually ridden a helicopter, and you get a glimpse of like Frog Thor in like a jar, buried as they're going through the going into the bunker. That part I had to like go back and slow down so I can see what the heck that was, because it was like a little bit too quick for me, and I was like, oh, that's look like a frog. So because like a frog wearing some kind of helmet, and I was like, oh, frog Thor, frog, a frog, fork. I think I got it right, frog. And classic Loki's MCU Loki know that it pretty much went through the same thing, only in his version is a little twist. It's kind of like the what if thing. Like in his, at that point, because a lot of people was because I think they put this in because by after the events of Infinity War, people were speculating like, oh, Loki might have just used like a illusion on himself, and then he snuck off some other place. It didn't work out that way for MCU Loki, but they put that for the classic Loki for his interpretation of events, where he made, because all these Lokis are well more adept in their mystical capabilities compared to MCU Loki, because even like Sylvie, they're like their skills, because I think like it was Kid Loki who was mentioning that like they're kind of teasing him about like still using his daggers and stuff like that, and it's like, wait, you haven't really been practicing on your magic? What's going on with you? That's like, because Loki uses magic for more so like illusions or like disappearing acts, but he didn't do anything on the scale of what Sylvie does or even like classic Loki does, which I'll talk about in a minute. But classic Loki letting MCU Loki know that he projected him like a very, very probably like the best illusion of a copy that he ever made. It's pretty much to make it look as realistic as possible to fool what he called the Mad Titan, straight from the comics, where in the movies they never call him the Mad Titan, but I like to think they did, at least once. But I could be mistaken. But so he died, and so he turned his body in some kind of like dust particles or something. So he kind of floated away, and he just pretty much exiled himself, because he just ran away, didn't bother to help or anything like that. So he went off to some isolated planet, and after a significant amount of time went by, he got lonely. He even eventually started to miss his brother, and whenever anybody back home missed him. So as soon as he was about to step forth to leave that isolated planet, the TVA showed up and pulled him away, because he was branching off his timeline, what he's supposed to be doing, which was exiling himself. And he eventually got pruned and sent here. And like just the conversation with all these Lokis was amazing. But then, because this is the reason, this scene coming up, this is the reason why I made that review of the Loki comic, the President Loki comic, which you can find on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/talkativecarl, if you want to hear my thoughts on that comic, because I was doing that in preparation of this mostly, because I didn't know this was coming up. I didn't know when President Loki was going to show up. We knew from like the trailers, but I can't believe it took up to episode 5 for us to actually see this version. But it's not actually our Loki. It's like same look as Tom Hiddleston, but this version decided to run for president, which could be like the comic, the short comic issue arc that I read, and maybe is that version that got like the TVA brought in, and it would be a nice little epilogue or a side story connected to that short issue of President Loki, where at the end the TVA shows up and pulls him in, so we'll know like this is the same comic version that we're dealing with now. That will be cool. But then MCU Loki was exiting the bunker, and then you see like the President Loki sitting there like standing and waiting along with his crew of flunkies. Look like very Mad Max group of people that was pruned, probably all from different various timelines and probably universes. And turns out like both of Loki, the one with the hammer, betrayed all of them. Told him their location. So it's like all these different Lokis, all trying to portray each other. And like MCU Loki just looking on, just rolling his eyes and just like face palming, like, oh my god, I gotta deal with this crap. It's like, and then Classic Loki pulled an illusion just to make it look like they're all still fighting each other. But it was like an awesome moment where they did the whole what's that thing in Thor Ragnarok, where it's like the game that Thor and Loki plays, like Come Help. And they did it with Alligator Thor, because Alligator Thor bit off President Loki's hand in one moment, and that was intense. Like, holy crap. And then they did the, Come Help with the alligator, and tossed the alligator at somebody's face. It was fun. It was like a fun scene. They and then they made their escape. Back at the TVA, Sylvie and, why can't I remember this judge's name? It starts with an R. And Renslayer. God, that was literally bothering me for like the entire week. But hear it, but it's like I don't retain it. I was like, oh my god, yes, that's that's her name, Renslayer. Okay, so Renslayer and Sylvie, like, back at the TVA, and of course Sylvie, holding her at like staff point. They looks like even Renslayer was like, really want to know who's behind all this, because I guess for the longest time she never even knew, but she still wants to do her job, because she's like extreme zealot by the books kind of person, but only a little twist where it's like she doesn't even like, she wants to know who's behind everything. So I guess to justify her job, because she's been doing it for so long, she just damn all like anything else, even my own colleagues, which she interrogated. Not C20. It was like, the black lady that Sylvie helped bring out of her the whole facade of the TVA. And of course she was trying to oh, there's this prototype ship that we can take the guests through the void on the other side. And it's like, you gotta trust me. And it's like, bitch, I don't trust you. You just killed her quasi boyfriend just like a few minutes ago, and you got a nerve to talk about trust. It's like, nah. F no. But then as security came storming in, Sylvie did like a ballsy move and just pruned herself. Like, holy shit. But it was probably the only way. And she luckily she brought in with her that little telepath thing. So when she got pruned, it got pruned along with her. So it came with her to the void. And she met up with Owen Wilson. He's back. We knew he would be. And then they all meet up, because they all meet up at the what's that Chris's name? I want to say Aloy, but that's the character from Horizon Zero Dawn. But I was gonna say Aloy. I just can't remember the name. It sounds similar, but it's like Alioh, I think. But the gas monster. Loki decides well, we're going if it's like a guard dog, then or at least if it has a brain or a heart, you can probably kill it. He's got to figure out a way to do so. But the the other Loki is trying to stress them that, we don't, essentially play here or fight the battles. We survive kind of situation to fight another day. And that's how basically they lasted this long. They just was just surviving. They went to this cliff and they ran into Sylvie and Mobius. And Sylvie had an idea that that since it's like a living creature, she can enchant it. But before they do, they had like a little respite where like you get like Mobius, Kid Loki, and Class Loki all talking. And it was like a nice little moment, just having Owen Wilson just bounce off dialogue with another person. It's just like an awesome thing to see. And like, I don't know why it is. It just is that because like, Owen Wilson is that good that it's like, I can literally watch him talk all day. I don't even care. It still bugs the crap out of me that, the people behind all the show saying that he won't do his classic WoW at no point in this series. I'm thinking, when I heard that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, then why are we even doing this then? I mean, why? It's like casting Keanu Reeves for several episodes of a season of a TV show, but never let him say whoa once, or not allowing Matthew McConaughey say all right not once. I mean, it just feels like, like almost like a tease. It's like you're giving us blue balls here, But it was a nice little. It's kind of nice where like MCU Loki conjures a blanket for him and Sylvie to share, and it was like a nice little line from her talking about like, this is like a tablecloth. It's, obviously it's not very comforting, but they sitting there very close and everything like that, But it's like they're talking about like, we'll discuss what we'll do after this all over and together and all this stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not kink shaming. I'm open-minded on a lot of things, man. If you're bisexual, that's cool. If you're pansexual, that's cool. If you're gay, that's cool. A lesbian, that's cool. It's like whatever. But you gotta draw a line somewhere when it comes to interdimensional self-banging. I mean, it's like he's taking the line "screw yourself" way, way too seriously, and it's like at the last episode, at some point, these two are going to kiss, and it's going to be so awkward. It's like about as awkward as Luke and Leia kissing, about as awkward as Kylo Ren and Rey kissing. It's just that there's some things that just feels like it's like so wrong. It's not the same as like like potential relatives, but it's like a jumbled version of a relative, and it's like, God, I just think I'm not in the camp that wants these two to be together. I'm sorry, it's wrong on some level. It's against the law on some level. It's like, I mean, it's like I'm open-minded. Like I said, I'm open-minded about a lot of things. But you got to draw a line somewhere when it comes to this. Because, like, if I meet, like, a different dimension version of me, but as a female, no matter how good we get along together, because we probably will have, like, the same sensibilities, I'm probably not going to fuck her. I don't care how possibly attractive she'd be. Like, leave a comment below and let me know what you think. If you met, like, the different dimension version of you that's the opposite sex, would you have sex with them? Or if you're, in the LGBTQ plus community, like, let's say let's just say you're a lesbian and you meet the, male version of yourself, or, maybe just the female version of yourself from a different universe. Would you bang yourself? It's like, I don't even, it's like, not even on a curious level. No, just like flat out. Like, would you or would you not? Because, like, no. No, it's wrong on some level. I don't have the words to describe it. It's nothing to describe this because it's not like a facsimile of a scenario this has ever happened for us to classify it. It's not like it's against the law because it doesn't exist, at least not yet. I don't think we came to I don't think our scientists are there yet with interdimensional travel where we can go to a different dimension to possibly meet another version of ourselves. But it's like, it's just gross, right? But anyway, at the end, because like, you know, it was a nice moment where Mobius and Loki, you know, just man hugging it, and just like, it was like warm, like a cool embrace. And it's like, yeah, man, like these dudes are like lifelong friends. Despite the crap they give each other, like they are like, if Loki didn't have much friends, if at any prior to the events of the Avengers movie, he has at least one good friend that's not himself. They understand his BS and relatively deals with it. And then it was a nice moment where he whispers to Silver, like, "You're my favorite." And it was like, that was nice. Owen Wilson's just like a nice treasure and nice all around. It's like, I just like him just being in things. And so, him and Sylvie don't go with him. Neither does the other Lokis. Back to the TVA. The other Lokis, stay on this, apocalyptic void world, claiming it as their home now, and they want to be there to protect it. And Sylvie and Loki go to the gas monster to enchant it, or at least give her the chance to enchant it. And while he distracts it while using this flaming sword that Kid Loki handed him, a new weapon for him in his arsenal, gifted to himself by himself. As he's trying to distract him, it's not that small flame by comparison to his large gas monster cloud. Is not enough to entice it to not focus on Sylvie. But then you see classic Loki doing this baller move by conjuring a fake Asgard. You can tell, it's a lot of money put in this particular episode, where you get to see like Asgard being summoned, not like the real thing. It was just like an illusion, but like he just, you see it straining him a bit because he's like pretty much conjuring an illusion of an entire realm, not the realm, but just like the main capital of Asgard, and that distracts the gas monster, while Sylvie and Loki, hold each other's hands so that way they can while Loki's trying to learn on the fly how to enchant, and Sylvie's doing her thing. They're distracted. The gas monster is distracted long enough for them to do their thing, but in a heroic final F you to that gas monster, classic Loki just does this like an evil laugh as he's like being swallowed whole and disintegrated with only his helmet left behind. But then it was like a baller move, man. It's like, Loki may be survivors, but every so often, and push come to shove, they can bring out their little hero moments. Maybe it's because if they're all there, then each other can bring out the heroes of each other, kind of thing. That's my theory. It's like, if as Mobius said in like the first episode, that you were there to inspire others to be their better selves. So if you have a room full of Lokis together, maybe they will inspire each other to do the right thing. And this is something I just thought of right now, because that is like an interesting thought. Like, you know, MCU Loki and Sylvie inspired the other Lokis, or at least Kid Loki and Class Loki, to, step up a bit. So once the enchantment worked, there's like a portal opens inside the cloud where you see this kind of fortress on the horizon, and they walk through it, and there goes the end of the episode. And a lot of people believe is Kang the Conqueror living in that fortress, and it's possibly, I'm not sure if we're gonna get the because I'm still thinking it's gonna be like just like a brief snippet or a cameo from the guy who's being cast. I think he's from Lovecraft Country. I didn't really watch his work like that, and really didn't really care for Lovecraft Country to watch any of it. But people saying like he's like the best part of it, so they end up casting him as Kang the Conqueror for Ant-Man in the quantum realm. So because Kang, is a big Avengers and enemy, especially those who mess with time a lot, which he's like a very, very, very distant descendant of Reed Richards' family. And since by the end of Phase 4 we'll get the Fantastic Four movie, at some point after that we'll probably get, maybe not in the first Fantastic Four movie, but maybe the sequel, years down the line, we'll see like the connectivity between him and Kang. Right now, I can't wait to see what that is MCU costume will look like, because as you can see from like things like WandaVision with like that Halloween episode, and this episode with Classic Loki, sometimes comic book accurate costumes don't always look well on the either big screen or small screen. And sometimes it doesn't. You can see why it's not the main costume for the movies, but it's this nice little homage to the comics itself. Like, you're not completely ignoring it. Here it is. You get to see it in motion and everything like that. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, this was a great show. I mean, it dragged like a tiny bit here and there with certain scenes, but all in all, I mean, it's like, if they don't drop the ball in the last episode, this can be by far one of the best MCU things. It's like right up there with like Infinity War, Endgame, Black Panther. This will be right up there on the top of that list. Civil War too. It's like all that will be like, because like compared to like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, so far Loki did not drop the ball. And what I think where the other shows dropped the ball at is with Quicksilver and Sharon Carter, where it's like one was treated as a joke and the other they didn't fill up any information about the ins and outs of how that character got to where she was and blah blah blah. So as long as Loki does not fall in those two same traps, then this can be like maybe not like a perfect 10, but like maybe like a 9 out of 10. But I don't know. I might give it a 10 out of 10 depending on how the last episode goes to and what the end credits will be. That is something I'm really interested in. But some people might say like, hey, might be, instead of Kang, he might deal with like an actual more evil Loki, and just like really like give like an internal struggle for Loki to reconcile of all his past bad behaviors and realize, he was on like a dangerous role from becoming this kind of Loki, which all the stuff with Sylvie and Mobius and the TVA, he learned. He like they kind of like shoved down this version of Loki's throat all the events that we saw in the films up to the point of Infinity War, whereas like his arc and his resolution where he led to by the time of his death, they kind of like forced it all down his throat in these 6 episodes. So we're speeding up the process of his redemption arc. But what do you guys think how like this will end, after this wraps up? Because obviously the main timeline stuff all is gonna be like gonna because like Mobius says he's gonna burn the whole entire thing down, and he like thanked Loki like thanks for the spark, and it was gonna be awesome. Now I hope like he doesn't die really. I want to see Mobius back in some capacity in the future, but yeah, if the TVA is going to go crashing down, this will definitely going to affect Spider-Man, Wanda, and Doctor Strange, obviously, which could that way it can be easily explain why they're dealing with multiverse stuff. Because I only found out just yesterday, officially, because I'm watching like a podcast watching like another interview. Like I was watching on Real Rejects. That's like an awesome YouTuber that I watch. Is very cool guys behind that. Highly recommend you check those guys out. But I was watching like I guess it was watching some kind of interviewer, and they posted on their channel like just the other day, where he got legit sources and interviews and everything like that, concrete stuff. This is not like no I heard from a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend kind of crap. This is like direct sources where Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire will be in Spider-Man 3, and they will come up like at least halfway through the movie. So it's like definitely we're doing this shit. We're getting this, like the multiverse thing, we're doing this. And it's like I am super excited. TV show Daredevil, Doctor Strange, all 3 Spider-Man, Doc Ock, Green Goblin is going to be in it, and he's going to have his classic comic book, like, accurate Purple Red Hood, not helmet, as the interviewer was discussing from his channel, that, they're going to be dragging these villains in the first half of the movie up to the point where they die, so that way, they somehow survive, and they, revamp their costumes for Tom Holland's world, and wreak havoc as the new Sinister Six. And obviously, one Spider-Man alone can't deal with these, kind of veteran villains. So that's when you get, I think that's where probably Doctor Strange comes in to bring in Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, who dealt with these guys before, and bring them in. And I hope Vulture is in there too. And they already established Scorpion, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Like, I don't even care how it turns out. It's like I highly doubt it's gonna be anywhere close to Thor, the Dark World level of bad. But as long as it's not on that level, I don't even care. More than likely I'm gonna love it. Like I told you guys before, as you see on my little profile on my channels, Spider-Man is my ultimate favorite hero of all time. I love that character to death, and I'm gonna go ham at this movie. I'll probably even like take some time off from work so I can go see it early, and just so I can like really make it an event of it. Just like go to the theater, go to the concession stand, buying like not crazy amount of stuff, like one favorite candy, some popcorn, some drink. I even might get like some cinnamon roll thingies too to boot. Maybe a glass of liquor, or something from the the bar or something like that. I want to make this like a thing for me. I'm going early in the morning. I usually go in the morning to the theaters to go see movies. But I want to go to a morning so I don't be distracted by anybody's BS. Because I want to enjoy this. I want to, like, retain what I'm going to watch. And it's like, oh my God. And don't worry, I'll probably wait like a day after I see it before I do like a spoiler review of that. But speaking of which, I will be doing like a spoiler review for Black Widow coming up. Eternals, Suicide Squad 2. I will be doing those. But none of those excite me as much as Spider-Man 3 right now. Because I don't even care. They giving us, like, by all rights, years ago. And isn't this ironic that years ago that we used to give, like, the OG Spider-Man 3 crap about putting in too many stuff, like all these villains, and it's all discombobulated. Maybe we learn our lesson from that, and no, because with the Russos and people involved in the MCU like use their playbook on how to balance so many characters, and we can make it work compared to maybe 12 to 15 years ago, where it's a little when superhero movies wasn't to the pedigree that it is now, where it's like people the studios behind it didn't really give it the respect that they do with the movies now. But like, as long as they learn from the lesson, I don't think it'll be a problem as far as balancing all these characters. But either way, I'm just gonna be excited because like you get to see all these Spider-Man and all these villains in one place that you never. I would have never even thought I'll be alive to be witnessing this in real time. That's how excited I am. I know it's like a Loki video, but I'm just like, this is gonna spark something, and this is gonna be all this because we already went through the Infinity Saga. Now this is gonna be like a multiverse saga. Now, end up getting like Kang the Conqueror, Sinister Six, Doctor Doom, possibly Galactus. So this is gonna be some like a badass saga that we're going through, and everybody is involved is doing like top-notch work, and they're taking it seriously. They're giving these characters respect and the time they deserve to, and they're not half-assing it. This is what I'm saying, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that is my review so far of Loki episode 5. Might forgotten some stuff here and there, but yeah, I'm loving everything so far. I mean, it's like, and a matter of fact, next week, probably the day before, I'm gonna rewatch all 5 of the previous episodes of the Loki series in its order up to the point when 6 comes out. So like I can like just a nice recap up to the final part, where then later on that afternoon I will be giving my full spoilers of the entire series. But yeah, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to Talkative Carl on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow me on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/TalkativeCarl. If you have any ideas for reviews that you think I should tackle, I will definitely put you on a list and make you a priority, give you a shout out, all that good stuff. Because like I'm doing this for you guys, and not only that, I love doing this. It's fun for me. I get a kick out of it. Just talking about comics, anime, TV shows, movies, and doing video game walkthroughs. I love all that stuff. It's fun for me, and I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you, all those recent subscribers from my YouTube channel. I want to give y'all a shout out because I did not do that last time. Nick Jermaine, Chris Castro, Brian Dillon, TikTok, that's funny, Mike Mose, and Peter Bernal. All you guys are amazing. Those are like the last recent subscribers in the past few weeks that I want to make sure you guys get a nice little shout out. You guys are amazing. Everybody's been watching my stuff so far, so have been amazing. Now I'm just 6 subscribers away from my goal for the one chip challenge. Once I reach 100 subscribers, I will do a live one chip challenge on the channel. Don't know if I'm going to do it on Twitch. I might go directly to YouTube on that one, but I will be doing it. I just need 6 more subscribers. So if you guys are out there loving my stuff, subscribe, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll make this happen just for you guys, so you can watch me burn my mouth. So